Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. It's Monday. It's Monday morning, and I'm currently at the beach because this is pre-recorded, so I'm cheating. But don't worry about it. I hope you have a good Monday. We're going to get straight into the meat and potatoes as some eagle-eyed people had reached out to me. Some eagle-eyed people. And look, I can't play the audio. I would have clipped it and I'd have put it in the video for you to hear, but I don't have any relationship with this other channel, so I don't want to get struck down with furious anger and all that stuff from Pulp Fiction. So what I've done, I've put the link to the video in the description of this video, and it runs from about approximately 40 minutes in. Some of you might be interested in watching the entire video. It's basically a video of Jay Slaters' funeral. But there was an interesting conversation because there was two videos. There was a short version, then there was a longer version. It was about an hour long. And what it was is the audio at the end, again, some eagle-eyed people pointed out, eagle-eyed cherry, pointed out that there was a conversation caught, the audio, and it seemed to be potentially between the person who was filming and Chris P. We'll call him Mr. Chris P. But during this conversation, there seems to be an accusation from potentially, I can't say it's definitely him, I think it's him, other people have said that they believe it's him, but they're saying that Guardia Civil had been caught lying to Jay Slaters' parents. Lying to them. Seemingly, it's hard to hear, but it seems to be about the search, potentially the search area where it'd already been searched or where they were searching. And again, I can't be 100% sure, but the fact that they seem to have been lying and caught in a lie to the family, it does beg the question as to whether moving forward, Jay Slaters' family are indeed going to let this rest. Now, some people have pointed out and said, look, perhaps they know what happened and they're fearful that if people dig too deep into it, they say too much, it may change people's perception of Jay and affect his legacy. Well, my thoughts around that would be that his legacy has been affected enough. This seems to have turned into some kind of money-making, I don't know, just some money-making machine where you either donate into the Jay Slater GoFundMe or you donate into some other fund that's for, I don't know, that global search company, whatever they are. But like I say, for them to make the accusation, and for that accusation now to have been caught on video and put onto a public platform, is interesting to me. Because I would expect law enforcement to be being absolutely transparent to the family of a missing person, whether it be an adult, whether it be a youngster. But you would expect absolute transparency, and it makes you wonder why they would have potentially been lying to them. Some of us have thought that there was a potential that perhaps Jay had not been found in the area that he was found. Had he been moved there? Had he been found previously? Had the whole situation of what had happened to Jay been kind of staged to make it look more like an accident when in fact it was not an accident, and this was about protecting the area? You know, at the end of the day, bad press is bad press, and when you start throwing certain things into the mix, it can affect the local, how can I say it? It cannot be affected anymore. You know, Tenerife has got a bit of a history. They've got a lot going on. It's not like Jay Slater was the first person to go missing, and he's not likely to be the last. We've spoken about the numerous issues that they have surrounding narcotics and other things, and the entire Jay Slater case kind of stinks. You know, we can put it to bed if we want to put it to bed because we can consider that the family are going to put things to bed, and ultimately they're the ones that should have the power to either say, no, we're not happy, we want to know more, or they should have the power to say, look, enough's enough, We trust in everybody who was around the situation. We trust what we was told. We know Jay as an individual and what the likelihood is of this scenario being accurate. And we know the people who was around him. And we know that they wouldn't have had any influence on the decisions that Jay made. Because ultimately, and again, we've spoken about this, you don't necessarily have to do something to somebody physically to have input in something happening. You know, there was comments made about Jay Slater being scared. Now, we don't know the accuracy of them, but as I've said in previous videos, that is in fact, is probably the most important piece of information surrounding what happened to Jay. Because if Jay was indeed scared of something and he was acting out of being fearful of something for some reason, then it would have naturally made him do things that perhaps he wouldn't have done had he have not been. For instance, we question, why did Jay Slater not just follow the road? Why would you, and again, this path of least resistance, well, the path of least resistance was always going to be the road, and the road literally was the road which he travelled on to get to where the B&B was, so naturally he would have known that that would have led him back to where he come from. I can't completely understand the mindset that you would have had to have thought it was a good idea with no phone, no water, no food, and wearing just shorts and a t-shirt to go Bear Grylls on the Tenerife treacherous landscape. But you tell me, at the end of the day, is it possible that he did just decide that he was Jay Mears and he was going to do this and it went horribly wrong? Or are we at a place now where we should really be questioning as to whether Jay Slater was indeed fearful of something? And if he was indeed fearful of something, what was he in fear of? Who was he in fear of? And could it be that whatever that was the aggravating factor in the decisions made that ultimately led to his demise? But it would, like I say, it would seem that Guardia Civil has now publicly been accused of lying to the Jay Slater family. So will we, over the course of the next few weeks, potentially see Jay Slater's family start to question what they were told? Because what we've known them to be told is that they found Jay in an area that they stated was not safe. You can't come and see him. You can't come to where we've found him. You can't see his body. We recommend that you don't do that. But then they were able to obtain DNA or fingerprinting from Jay. And, it raised a lot of questions. But lying. Guardia Civil, did you lie? Why you lie? I'll see you all in the next one.